bankruptcy barrel.
Hello, and welcome to the Saladcast on Friday, the 5th of September, 2025. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me today, Zachary Burgess.
Laid back.
And Robert Kemp.
Got my mind on my money, on my money, on my mind.
I'm literally laid back in my chair because this is the most comfortable for my fucked up back at the moment. So it's not the good kind of laid back. This is the least painful amount of laid back.
Yeah, which is usually uncomfortable for the rest of your body.
Yeah.
Laid back. I'll give you laid back.
Laid back.
My microphone arm can barely reach this position from the corner of my desk.
They do have a lot of play in them, the microphone arms, to be fair.
Yeah. It is kind of nearly fully straightened out as much as it can be to be able to be close enough to my mouth while I'm laid back in this chair.
Chilling.
Yeah.
So what's the necessity for the posture? No. What's it called? Your orientation.
Yeah, what is it when it's like... Yeah, it's not... I guess you're not holding it. Posture is how you hold yourself. But if you're sat, like, what is that position called? Like, that's an interesting one. Don't know the word for that. If there is a word for that. Position. I guess that is it. Your butt stance.
Your butt side stance. I guess it's stance. I don't know if butts could have a stance, maybe. But no, is there no reasoning behind the laid back?
Well, just because it's the most comfortable for my back. That's the only reason. I think it's less. I mean, I probably could stand up. That might also be okay.
The whole standing desk situation.
Yeah.
You ever played video games standing up?
Well, no, I can't because I don't have a standing desk.
No.
I mean, I guess I could with a controller. I could probably play Rocket League standing up. Although I don't know. Rocket League is the one game that I play where I definitely have like completely random posture where it's just like I'll just be playing and then I'll have a moment where I like realize that I've like shuffled the chair like 5 feet back from the monitor for no reason. And I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah. Why am I so far back? I did
Is
try.
it affected by what's going on in the game where you're moving around?
Well, presumably. Just is entirely subconscious.
I did try once as a sort of, just standing in front of the TV with a controller to see if, is that instead of sitting down to play games. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, this wasn't a thing. It seemed weird. I think my arms got a bit like uncomfortable more than anything.
Well, yeah.
Do people play Switch when they're on the treadmill or whatever? I don't know.
I don't think you could hold a Switch and like run
Maybe
and
not
look
run.
at the screens simultaneously.
No.
I mean, it might be a way to play Ring Fit, potentially. Stick those Joy-Cons in your pockets whilst the Switch is sat on the running machine, I guess, on the treadmill. Or is that what you were thinking? Like detach the Joy-Cons and hold them in your hands. So whilst you're on the treadmill running, the screen is just sat propped up somewhere.
Yeah. Or I guess it could be docked, right? And it could be like a TV.
Yeah,
but
probably.
You're on the treadmill.
That sounds pretty awkward. I don't know if the action of trying to run, like whether you've got the.
Yeah. I guess easier with 2 Joy-Cons than it would be with a normal controller.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you've got the dexterity to try and play whilst in that stance, but maybe you do.
No.
It's more the judder, right? It's the impact points,
right?
Like, and how that would mess your thumb up potentially, unless you were playing something, fairly digital.
Because I've seen people have standing desks and they're in meetings and stuff on calls or whatever. But I've recently seen people with treadmills that are walking in meetings, which is kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be better than lounging.
I guess I don't talk to enough weirdly high-powered people to have seen that.
Yeah, but is that high-powered? Like, is that a flex, or is that just your...
I mean, it is if it's like a straight-up like treadmill desk or whatever. kind of money is involved at that point.
Yeah, it probably was expensive, I guess.
If you were just like holding your phone, FaceTiming, walking through a park, maybe not so much.
No. This is literally like a treadmill. Goes beyond, because even standing desks are kind of expensive if they're especially ones that are electrically powered or whatever.
Yeah. Is it kind of like a power play of some description, do you think, though, to be like that? To be like, oh, you're one of them people. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it's really obvious. Like,
right, yeah.
I don't really notice after a while if someone's standing or sitting in a meeting, but if they're like walking, it's quite weird. Like swaying.
Yeah, it's the shoulder move, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
Nts.
Yeah, probably not ideal for gaming. But it might mean you don't need to lie down all the time.
Yeah, I've never really been able to game lying down. I'm not super comfortable. I'm not one of those people that can take a handheld to bed particularly and play that for very long. The longest. I mean, Balatro just gets you into such a zen state that like doing that on the Steam Deck is probably the thing I can do the longest, like in bed. What in the game's playing realm, I should say.
Yeah, sure. I don't think gaming in bed is necessarily a good idea. But I was thinking how, like, hotel rooms, like, you end up on the bed, even if they supply chairs and stuff. You know, you're not sitting in those chairs, are you? Or the little weird desk.
No.
You're just hanging on the bed, aren't you, in the hotel room?
I've never...
And that's where...
Have you ever tried to use the desk, like, in a hotel room?
I can't say I have, really.
It feels 100% wrong.
Why do they even supply them? It's like,
I guess
it's like necessary.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you're a hotel, right, it's like you probably like the probability of you being on a business trip is probably reasonably high. So
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like, oh, you might come to us if there's some space for you to do some late night emails or something. But
Guess so. But I would do that on my laptop on the bed.
Yeah,
because
that's-
it's all about the bed in the hotel room for some reason. It's like the platform for everything.
I'm trying to think what I used to do, like, because I like where I used to stay, I don't think really had a desk, so like I just did that
Yeah.
anyway. Like,
Yeah.
when I was traveling a lot.
They always offer a few chairs, and all I do is put bags and clothes on them.
Right, yeah. It's like, who is that guy that unpacks
Yeah.
everything to put it into the wardrobe?
Right, exactly. And then sits in the supplied chair. Like, so weird.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
So, yeah.
Like, wherever I've been, like, actually just unpacked on a holiday or anything like that. Just,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that.
So, yeah, if I took my Switch on holiday, I probably would play it in bed. Yes, but that's the only time.
And then your hands would get cramped because it's a Switch.
Yes, they would. Or any handheld, even like, I don't know. Well, what would it be now?
The Steam Deck is way better for your hands. Trust
Oh,
me.
yes,
It's heavier, but it's so much more comfortable. I could definitely use that for much longer periods than I can the Switch.
Than the Switch. Yeah, fair.
It's a podcast about video games. We did it.
It doesn't bother you too much, though, does it? Does it, Zach?
Well, I don't use my Switch anywhere apart from docked on my desk. Like, where I could move 2 feet across the room to the bed if I wanted, I guess. But why would I do that?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Is it better, like, even if you're in your bed, to just watch it, put it on the screen and do it from way back?
I mean,
Anyway,
I suppose you could do that, but that's
Yeah.
kind of a bit far.
yeah, maybe.
Because you can't really... Well, the head end of my bed is at the fully opposite end of the room from where my monitor is, essentially.
Sure, yeah.
So the whole length of the room. And even with my new larger monitor, it's just like, I'm not going to be able to see that.
I wouldn't do that. We're quite anti TV in the bedroom in general here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's not good.
I don't know. It's like there's a bit of me that thinks like, oh yeah, it's like I get it, right? It's like, oh, it's a cozy night in, da da da. But actually, whenever I've been in that situation in the past with someone, it's just been like, oh, this is actually just neck strain. I'm either sitting some upright in this bed, which is never the most comfortable place to be, or I'm like lounging back, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I've actually got to crank my head up at an awkward angle to see this thing.
Well, that's why you mount it to the ceiling, obviously.
Ceiling TV.
Although you wouldn't do that now, right? You'd get one of those like short throw projectors or something and smush it onto the ceiling.
I don't think any of that would be good.
No.
or worthwhile. You might as well just bring your freaking laptop onto the bed like a student or whatever, like we used to do.
Sure. I don't actually own a laptop at the moment.
Yeah.
I'd have to use my Steam Deck and hold it in my hands whilst watching something.
I'm sure there is the word for that posture or whatever it is. So we're talking about, it's not posture, stance. It's something for your position when you are lounging, but I still can't think what it is. But whatever it is, I'm doing a bunch of. I feel like I'm doing more lounging on my sofa. I should like sit up on the sofa, but sometimes I go no, full sideways on the sofa.
Oh yeah, and I never sit properly, medically properly on the sofa.
No. You have got a comfy one.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. it's pretty good. Yeah, but it's yeah. I think that's. I don't know because I had the back thing last week, and I don't quite know how I did that either. I mean, I was just working right at lunchtime. I was fine. I went back to work, sat at my desk, did some work, and then at some point through that afternoon, I was suddenly not fine. And it took me out. Well, I basically couldn't do any running last weekend as a result of it, and it's like, this is not that comfortable. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks, back.
Thanks for being in our 40s.
Yeah.
Back problems ahoy.
Well, I found this has been me since my 30s, maybe even earlier. To be honest, I've always kind of had a bit of a problem with it just suddenly going. It's not as bad as it used to be, actually, not by a long shot.
I mean, the running must help that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It used to be pretty common, and then I started running, and it's been less common, but it can still happen. And it's not the same as it was either. It used to be like a full-on sciatica thing, all the way down. Feel that pang all the way down my leg, and
nasty.
Yeah, it was horrid. But it's not really that anymore, which is nice. Hey, I watched that Disney Pixar film Cars.
I have never seen Cars.
Yeah, I know. Neither had I. It was a daddy look after Milesy night.
Right.
So it was just like, well, you seem desperate to watch the TV, and it's like I'm a bit tired because it's getting late, and but I don't really want to watch any more Doggo.
And your son is
or Mickey Mouse
into cars, right? In general,
kind of, yeah. I think that's sort of wearing off a bit. He likes,
okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He just wants to actually. He's progressed to the point where the idea of a car isn't enough. Let's put it that way. Like he actually needs to sit in the driver's seat of a real car, and then he's happy.
Okay,
so I put this thing on. I was fully expecting to not like it because it's one of those. I think the reason I never saw it was sort of the same reason I don't see a lot of films, and that for a while Cars was like Pixar's biggest thing, and then now they've made 3 of them, or at least 3 probably. I don't know how many they've actually made, and spin-offs and stuff like that. And I just remember being a bit like, oh god, this is everywhere. And if everything is like that Mater character or whatever, Mater. Then this film's going to be really annoying, right? And it's like, no, it's fine. The film's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's just because the standard of Pixar, especially at the time, was so insanely high with things like, it's not exactly Toy Story, is it? You know what I mean? But it's absolutely fine. That's what I've heard. And I think the probably sequels get worse.
Oh,
worse
probably.
Worse.
Yeah.
But the first one, I'm sure, is pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. Follows.
Who does the voice of Lightning McQueen or whatever?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can immediately tell. It's not even slightly adjusted. Yeah, it's just him.
I mean, the main thing I know about cars from people talking on the internet is people talk about how weird the world is and that there's no humans or whatever, and the logic of the world being so strange.
Just think about being on a Teams meeting with someone on a treadmill, but you're all cars. It's like, then you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Be smooth riding.
That's true. There wouldn't be any shimmying shoulders then. You'd just be rolling.
Yeah. I mean, the key problem about the Cars universe is, like, who has the dexterity to make any of the things that they
right
that they use in their everyday life. Yeah. It's like there must be other machines or like tiny things, like because even the flies are like tiny cars in that universe.
Oh,
it's like,
really?
Like every living thing is a car.
So there are no animals or anything. And there's definitely no humans.
I don't know if you see anything other than humans replacing cars and flies replacing cars. I don't know if you see car birds or anything.
Right, car birds, yeah.
Or cargaroos or anything like that. I don't think there's any other.
It isn't one of the spin-offs like aeroplanes, so like those exist, but are they just like another? Is that just like, are they not planes in that universe? Are they just like a weird evolution of cars?
Yeah, I think it's like maybe engined creatures is the distinction. Like because there's definitely a helicopter in this as well, and that's
right.
It's not a car, but it's got a face.
It's like Thomas the Tank Engine. There's the occasional helicopter in amongst the trains or whatever. But at least Thomas the Tank Engine has humans in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have the odd existential crisis when they realise that they're human. Like, I was made by this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my TV of the week.
That's your latest stuff. Well, what have I watched? I watched Shin Godzilla.
Oh, right.
Because my brother recommended it. It was pretty fun. I guess it's 2016, so it's actually kind of old now, but I mean, to me, it's quite new. But it's good, but it's very Japanese, and it's like a kind of, the thing of this one is it's kind of a satire of Japanese bureaucracy and how they would deal with crises and things or whatever. So it's quite an interesting, it's much less, it's not as stripped down as Godzilla Year One or whatever that was really successful recently. I saw that one in cinema and that was really good.
So it's more Deep Impact than Armageddon is what you're saying.
Exactly. But super Japanese. But the problem is that when you're watching all of that and all the Japanese characters in subtitles, it's fine, but then they bring in someone who is meant to be American.
Oh no.
This woman who is not, has like the strongest Japanese accent speaking in English. As soon as they do that, like the dialogue is like, oh, this is so cringe all of a sudden. It's so dumb.
I love it because I love it when that happens because it's so funny. It's so bad.
It's really funny. It's so bad. So anyway, it's really enjoyable, and Godzilla really, really messes up Tokyo. Something rotten in this, which is, I guess, the whole point of Godzilla. But yeah, it's cool, and all the different, government departments and how their people are trying to be out for their careers and all that stuff, and sort of and worrying about the hierarchy and chain of command rather than actually sorting something out and being like, well, this doesn't have any precedent. There's no precedent for this. What do we do? It's like, well, you've got to figure something.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all quite good. But then as soon as they do the American characters, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, at the end, they're literally like, the Americans are like, we're literally, okay, Godzilla is like, you've disabled it, it's in Tokyo asleep, but it's going to wake up, and when it does, we're going to nuke Tokyo. So, I don't know, evacuate, I guess. Whatever.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's pretty on the nose, but it has cool, good special effects. I mean, they... Didn't they get nominated for an Oscar for the Year One later?
Yeah,
I think it's the same.
I think you're right. I think that did very well.
Studio makes all of the Godzilla films, obviously different directors and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I recommend it if you like it's a good, and it's a, it's a soft reboot or whatever. It's a reboot. Yeah. You don't have to have any knowledge of anything. Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, fun time.
you reckon? I wonder what the rankings are for like films, the most films in a franchise. Like Godzilla must be up there, right?
Well, there's a lot because there's a lot of. I don't know if it has like a core continuity and then spin-off ones, probably, but obviously there's all the other kaiju monsters that are associated with it, and then there are different tracks. Obviously, like there's the whole multiple Western tracks of like the recent one, right? That has its own track of Godzilla versus Kong or whatever. I don't know how many films they're into that at this point, because that started a while back, didn't it? The one with Bryan Cranston and stuff. I haven't actually seen.
Yeah, I've seen one of them. I think I've only
got
seen
Charlie
one
Day
of them.
in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And then Kong Skull Island, and then they combined all of that together, I guess.
Yeah, in a way. I think I've only seen one of the relatively new batch of Godzilla films, and it was okay. And the only other one I've seen is Jamiroquai's Godzilla, wherever that one was.
I've missed out on that.
I don't. It's the one that had the like. It was in like New York instead of Tokyo or something, and it had Jamiroquai's Deeper Underground as the theme.
Is that
tune.
the 90s one?
Yeah, the 90s. Early 2000s. The one that had the professional in it. I can never remember his name either. But Leon.
The professional. Yeah. And it's Matthew Broderick, isn't it?
Maybe
the hero.
Yeah.
I think
it's been so long since I've seen it, but
that one is like very cheesy 90s, and obviously Godzilla purists hate it, right?
Sure,
but it's actually kind of weirdly fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's I remember thinking that at the time. I don't think it did like particularly well critically, even back then. But I remember watching it, thinking, yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time.
It's Jean Reno, isn't it? That's his name, isn't it? The
yes, yeah, that's it. That's it.
And there's a fun bit where, because the plot in actual Godzilla is about, it's about the Americans atomic bombings, right?
Sure.
Of Japan. And then the actual Godzilla is like American nuclear testing causes Godzilla. But in the American one with Matthew Broderick, they blame the French, right? Because the French had been doing nuclear testing kind of later, right? Or they were actually doing it in the 90s, I seem to remember, in the Pacific. Early 90s or something. But and so the French army turn up to kind of clean up their own mess or something, and then they pretend to be American.
There. Yeah.
And there's a bit where they're like pretending to be American by impersonating Elvis Presley or something.
It's that man, that Godzilla film is in that beautiful period of like action films and cheesy blockbusters that you just don't get these days. I suppose the closest we get today is Jurassic World, and that doesn't it doesn't hit the same way.
And Jurassic World has the real problem of I know it's a lot of films ago, but the first Jurassic Park is a fucking Spielberg film that is way elevated above any other blockbuster, right? It's on the level of Jaws or something, right? Which you cannot possibly get to. Yeah,
it's a stone cold classic. It's one like, along with the first Spider-Man, that's up there in like films I've seen the most. I've watched that first Jurassic Park a billion times.
I mean, it's an amazing film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose the other one along those lines would have been something like Independence Day, right?
Yes, I mean, that's high up there on my list as well.
Exactly.
That's a fantastic film. Man, maybe that's what we should do after we finish watching Fast and Furious. Like, just do 90s action film.
Well, we need to just watch The Matrix, I feel like.
Hell yeah.
Just the first one. I'm not doing a whole sequence where we watch money. I'm not doing... I have done it, like... not recently, but a few years ago, and like, I'm like, how bad is Revolutions really? And it's like, oh, it's pretty bad. Is it No, what's the third one? Yeah, after Reloaded, Revolutions. Yeah.
Revelations? Maybe it is Revolutions. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, but you haven't seen Matrix 4.
I haven't seen it.
I'm
boy. Up for that. Yeah.
I mean, you don't know nothing about bad Matrix films yet.
Well, I've kind of heard that it's a kind of almost a joke as a film, which I quite like the idea of. So.
But it's also bad.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. It should never have been made. and that is the joke. They know it. They know it should never have been made. Boy.
It seemed a bit. I haven't seen it, but it seemed a bit reminiscent of what was going on in like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is the one where you in the real world you're at the video game developer of the game or something. Is that Black Flag?
Was that Black Flag? No, I think I want to say Black Flag might have actually been the last. Oh, maybe you're right. Actually, I'm yeah, no, maybe that is the one where you started playing a developer at Abstergo Games.
That's right. Yeah.
No, yeah, because Assassin's Creed 3 must have been the end of the whatever his name is, Duncan, Dexter. I can't remember his name. Something it would be, the real world storyline.
Yeah. From the original game.
Yeah.
But am I right in that that's somewhat reminiscent of what Matrix 4 does?
Sort of, kind of, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, loosely. I'm not quite sure. It's like at that point in Assassin's Creed, they're like plumbing history for content for video games. Like that is what that game studio does. They go into the I can't even remember the names of Assassin's Creed things. They go into the time machine
Animus thing.
Animus, there we go. Thank you. They go into the Animus and are plumbing real history for inspiration for video games, and ripping it straight off, essentially from what they gather from it, and that is the plot.
That's a funny idea.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do any of that. I don't know that they do, right? Do
they even have the framing narrative these days? Do they bother with it?
Yeah, I think they've ditched it.
Yeah, probably sensible.
Because they clearly didn't care about it by the time Assassin's Creed 3 came around. But
no.
Devlin? No, I'm really good. It's really going to bother me that I can't remember that guy's name.
The protagonist of Assassin's Creed in the present, do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Dave.
Dave running around as Dave. Yeah.
Just a normal guy. Just an innocent man.
Just innocent man.
I'll tell you the other thing I've been watching, actually. I watched I'm halfway through The Residence, which is a sort of murder mystery in the White House thing that's available on Netflix. It's pretty good.
Right.
I'm enjoying it.
All right, okay.
It's it's quite. I wouldn't say it's. I was about to say it's Sorkin-esque. It's not that level of like, but the dialogue can be quite fast at times, and the editing is quite nice. So when the detective is interviewing lots of people, like it cuts around their. I am terrible for words today. Their testimonies. It cuts around what they've been saying, like so form the almost to form sentences sometimes, right? And it's like and it's cutting between all of their things. And it's quite well done and quite funny in places how that's done. And there's a framing mechanic of a hearing about the whole thing later on that's playing out alongside all of this. So they're asking questions about the investigation and how it panned out and why it happened like that to the people that were there. And that can be kind of funny at times. And it's it's working. I recommend
The Residence.
On Netflix.
I don't know if I can stand to watch anything that's set in the White House at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. It does push that button a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It does push that. They kind of lead into it a bit. That it's like, the current administration is awful, basically, and everyone knows it. And
everyone knows it. Okay, that's quite nice. Have you seen the fucking weird gold shit that Trump's now got all over the Oval Office?
Oh yeah, I saw some stuff about that. Yeah,
and that he's paved over the Rose Garden.
I mean, that part is just like, that's just America. That doesn't count. The gold shit is obviously Trump, but paving over a garden, that's just America.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Exactly.
Should we talk about games?
Video games.
Video games.
This is a podcast about those.
It is, sometimes.
I looked up the name of the guy from Assassin's Creed. It is Desmond. Desmond Miles.
Oh. I could add that to another.
So there you go.
I could add that to another one of the things that that Gnome doesn't know Miles is named after, because I didn't know.
Named after. You didn't even know.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
We did well naming him. News. Silk Song is out, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah.
That game's not only real, but it's out. And it's sold like was it 500,000 copies, or like 500,000 concurrent players or something mad. The numbers are ridiculously high on Steam, at least. Who knows what's happening on the other platforms? And it sold so fast that Steam broke. The checkout system apparently wasn't working in a number of regions for some time. The same thing happened to the eShop.
Wow, this is impressive.
Yeah, so all those. I saw on Twitter the other day, someone posted a thing about like how when Hollow Knight was revealed, like some of the reactions to it, like on Reddit and things, were like, "Oh, it's another cartoony Castlevania game. This will never take off." And look where we are now.
Yeah.
Well, where we are now is that exact thing, where like there's so many goddamn 2D side-scrolling, more like Dark Souls than Castlevania nowadays. But you keep seeing them, and it's like, who cares?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely with that with Dark Soulsy games. I just look at it and just go, ugh, it's another one. And I think to some level, I think you're right, Zach, about like my brain kind of does that with a lot of 2D games as well. Like,
does your brain? They are just like that.
Yeah.
They're not Castlevania any longer. They're more like trying to be Dark Souls, but in just a 2D plane.
Sure. I suppose if you're thinking of like Nine Souls and to a certain extent Dead Cells, but less so, I suppose. But
I think you've chosen the two most not like that examples.
Oh, really?
Because I can't remember any of the actual shit ones.
Oh, really? I thought Nine Souls was like the most Dark Soulsy.
Well, I'm not saying that's not Dark Souls. I'm saying that's like the most not looking exactly like all of these look like.
Okay.
And the
Fair
same
enough.
with Dead Cells. It actually has a style to it.
Fair enough. Okay.
Whereas
I see your point.
every E3, not E3 event that we've had recently, there's always been one where it's like, oh, it's a medieval themed 2D platformer Dark Souls. It's like, God damn it. Stop making these.
Sultan Sanctuary? Was that one? Anyway.
I think that might have been different.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, I find it hard to get excited about them, because apparently that new Prince of Persia is pretty good as well, like the roguelike Prince of Persia that just came out. No one seems to be talking about it as much as Lost Crown, which was last year's Prince of Persia game, or was it early this year? Anyway, I'm losing track. But I think when I see a game like that, there's a bit of me that, even Metroid Dread to an extent, there's a bit in my brain that just sort of switches off these days, which is bad. I'm aware it's bad.
But I mean,
marketing is failing
feel.
me. Yeah. Basically, marketing for these games is failing me. Although I am hyped for whatever the new Bloodstained ends up being, because I really enjoyed that first one. That's the problem. I'm in sequel town with these ones. It's like, I know that one's good, so the sequel's going to be good. I am the problem. Hello, it's me. 007 First Light is coming out March 2026. There was a whole state of play on it that I did not watch. Did either of you check it out? Okay.
Who's making this again?
IOI, the Hitman team.
Oh, okay. I think I saw a bit of it, and it looks like a trying to be Uncharted, basically.
Kinda, yeah. It's somewhere in between.
It's got driving, which looked kind of quite good.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between, I think, Hitman and Uncharted. You can definitely see the Hitman DNA in it. There's just a bit more shooting. I still don't like that James Bond model, though. I don't know. There's something about this young James Bond with a massive scar down his face that just is like, nah, not my Bond.
Hashtag not my Bond.
Not my Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
You need your Bond to be some middle-aged dude.
Kinda, yeah. I need to project myself onto Bond, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Right. I guess Bond is supposed to be younger. How old would he be in the books? Probably 30 or something?
Yeah, I think around there. I mean, you've got to have some experience to get the 00 level, right?
He's a commander in the Royal Navy. I don't think you can be that in your 20s, can you? Well, maybe.
Maybe in the war.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, hopefully this is a win, because don't forget, IOI published Mind's Eye recently, which is a huge
that's
flop.
a publisher thing.
Yeah, that's a publisher thing, but it does tie them together a little bit. It's the same company, so it's you got to, it must have cost them a bit, money wise.
Maybe not that much.
Maybe not. I don't know, but they'll be fine. What else is happening? There are sort of rumours, but I couldn't. I've read a few articles on this one, but I couldn't really tell if it was like a listing or rumour or what. It seemed a bit vague, but it seems like there will be a new revision of the PS5 digital. So the digital only, the one without the disc, being released in Europe for the same price as the current one, but with a smaller hard drive.
How much smaller?
Down from 1 terabyte to 825 gig.
Well, that's kind of weirdly stingy. Like it's not like they halved it. They were just like, we can save some money here. I hope no one will notice. Obviously they will.
So obviously they will, yeah. So it's a slightly weird trajectory, because the PS5 actually launched with 825 gig, right? It didn't launch with a full terabyte. It became that in later revisions. Reversing. So now they're going back, presumably as you said, as a cost saving measure, and presumably as a way to do that without raising the actual console price again, which would have been. I
wonder how much cheaper the part actually is.
I wonder.
25 versus 1 terabyte. Because you think
I bet 825 is going to be an off cut, right? It's 825 because that's one of those weird numbers. It's going to be a terabyte drive that doesn't actually fill to a terabyte.
Right.
They've just limited. They just capped it or whatever. Yeah, so it's probably just like factory rejects.
Yeah, they're getting the ones that
cheaper.
They're getting the ones that didn't hit yield.
Oh, the low yield ones, yeah.
I mean,
which is probably why they're doing that in the. Well, I was going to say the less important SKU of the PS5, I guess.
But it's just yet more ammunition into being that consoles are the trajectory of consoles and console pricing is not good, even for stuff that's pretty old at this point, right? Like I've forgotten how into the cycle we are. Like 5 years now of PS5 and Series X, something like that. A reasonable amount of time, and these things have got nothing but more expensive.
Yeah.
It's not good. Which leads me conveniently to the next story, which is that Capcom are blaming the high price of a PlayStation 5 on the quote-unquote soft sales of Monster Hunter Wilds. So Capcom believe that the cost of entry, like for just to get started on modern gaming, is too high, and
so they're blaming their sales on
type of user base. Yeah, right. that there's the type of user base we have in this generation of console.
What are they saying? Their game appeals to more people who can't afford it.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know.
Relative to other games.
Yeah, it's an interesting comment. Like, I'm not sure I'm on board with it, but it's
I mean, if you were making, I guess if you were making Pokemon and the only way to play it was on a PS5, then that would be a pretty fair argument, right? Lots of kids wouldn't be able to get that.
Yeah. The sort of the quote I think listed that it's like, hey, if you're a student, for instance, and you're coming at a thing, there's no way for you to get on the rung of a console, particularly. You're just not going to have the money for one of these things now. Like compared to, I guess, when we were students, the relative cost of a console was considerably lower, or they would get reduced over their life cycle to a point where it wasn't a problem. Or so much.
I think we might have been at a point where it was at
probably at its best. Yeah,
because
honestly.
it was higher before when it was like Mega Drives and SNES.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, like as well, like the SNES, the Mega Drive was around for friggin' ages, right?
Yeah.
That the life cycle of the Genesis was a long time. So yeah, the NES even the NES was pretty pricey when it first came out. Relatively speaking, so we're in a pretty we're back in those days, and Capcom aren't particularly happy about it because he's not wrong. The cost of entry is getting higher. What is the cheapest way to get in? Excluding the Switch 1, it's the Switch 2, right? And that's not a cheap machine.
No. Yeah, and that you can't even get a handheld. Like, it's not like you can get a DS or something.
No, there's no alternative.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Does make me
it's
wonder
weird that there's no Game Boy, right? I guess everyone has a phone or whatever, but even those are insanely expensive.
Sure,
but everyone has to have one, I guess. So, like, students have to have I guess they get an Android or something. I don't know what people do in this world anymore.
For some reason, people are just willing to pay for phones, right?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's where they're, I've got an electronics budget, I'm going to spend it entirely on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it happens.
I've literally only just bought a new phone, and I specifically got one that was like an ancient, it's well old to start with, and I specifically,
and it's not a flagship, right? It's not one.
Yeah,
of the
and
old...
it's not a flag, and it's not like on a contract or anything or any of that shit. So I was like, oh yeah, this seems reasonable. I'm only paying like 300 quid for this. But then I see an advert on YouTube where it's like, oh, buy the new iPhone and save 1,000 quid.
Whoa. Yeah,
and it's like,
if you sell your soul,
what is the actual price exactly?
Well, those things are usually if you sell your soul and trade in your other brand new iPhone, your 1 year old pretty new iPhone. It is insane. But then I kind of understand why phones are so expensive, right? There's so much tech in such a tiny amount of space. Like they are insane what a phone is.
Yeah, they're completely insane.
But it's even more bizarre that that everyone gets one, and to be honest, a lot of people get iPhones and get new iPhones.
Yeah, they do.
And I find that incredibly bizarre.
And now they really are like not changing very much each year.
No.
They're like a marginally better camera, which I don't even use.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think Zach, you're onto the right path, really.
I thought your phone looked quite nice, Zach.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, compared to my last phone, it is. But then I had a Windows phone for the last 15 years or whatever. So.
You managed to nurse that Windows phone.
That's incredible.
I don't know.
As much as I liked amazing. Windows Phone, it's incredible you kept it going that long.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like it had any functions that worked any longer. Like it couldn't even connect to my email any longer for some reason.
No, it would have fallen out of whatever the security standard is. For that. Yeah, basically.
But yes, it literally could probably manage a text message, and that was about it.
Used to really like the voice recognition on Windows Phone. It was cool. Way ahead of everyone else. What else is happening then? Activision and Paramount are up to shenanigans. They're going to make a Call of Duty film. It's only taken them 22 years, but they're doing it.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
No. They haven't announced anything about what they're doing with it, like which Call of Duty, like what time frame. Is it?
It'll be Modern Warfare.
You reckon? Right? What, like COD 4-ish?
Yeah, COD 4-ish, I would say. But that time has sort of passed, so you know what I mean?
Oh, right. We're not in the early 2000s anymore.
We're not in the War on Terror, basically, kind of situation.
Or maybe they'll do a bring back the fighting the drug cartels, go down to South America and fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Rather than the Middle East.
I mean, they've got a lot of stuff to choose from. I wonder if they would try and tie it into, or just go into Black Ops, right? Personally, I think Black Ops is the choice.
They're not going to go to Black Ops. They're not going to do anything fancy. It's going to be a shit-ass film. It's going to be. That's why we're saying Modern Warfare. It's because it's like it's the easiest. Just go and hire some M15s and give them to some dudes wearing combat vests, and you're done.
They will try. I think you're right, Zach. I don't think they'll go as far as... They'll probably plan to make it a sort of universe where they can do Black Ops or whatever. Sure. Right. Because that's what... So this won't be a one-off thing, right? They'll want to... If it does well, they'll make Black Ops.
It's Call of Duty, right? They want to do one every year.
Yeah, exactly. But the Black Ops idea is like you can do it, set it in different periods in history, but you can also make it a spy type thing, which works for Mission Impossible and weirdly Fast and Furious, apparently. Right, as we've been discovering. Right, you can do all kinds of weird shit. So I think that would, if I was trying to write a script, it would be easier to draw on the Black Ops than the standard. Yeah.
I think they've got more.
But that's because you have imagination and you're not just worried about shit blowing up.
I guess so.
But even, you're probably right, Zach. Like in the sense that it'll probably be terrible, but I think they'll do a terrible Black Ops, which is even more like awful, right? If they try and do, in fairness, doing Black Ops 1 is probably way easier than the others, right? Because it is. I say way easier. It's not modern day. It's like Vietnam era, right? So or some of it's Vietnam era. So maybe that's a little easier to pull off than the modern ones. They did say they're committed. They did say some. I haven't got the quote in front of me, but they did say they're committed to some excellence and some stuff like that. So they're talking big, but. A cinematic experience that honors the legacy of this 1 in a million brand. That's the quote. An uncompromised...
This will only be good if it turns out that it's like... When they say it's a Call of Duty film, they mean literally Call of Duty 1.
They could. They might do that. Yeah. We're approaching this film with the same disciplined, uncompromising commitment to excellence, ensuring it meets the exceptionally high standards this franchise and its fans deserve.
According to this headline, Steven Spielberg wanted to make a Call of Duty film, but he wanted Final Cut, obviously, and Activision got nervous and pulled out.
Because Spielberg famously did Saving Private Ryan, right? And it sort of made sense at the time, right? Because Call of Duty had a pretty good World War II foundation at the time.
Absolutely. Oh, well, we'll see.
Mr. Trick there. You don't say no to Spielberg. Come on.
No.
Come on.
He has made some... How much work did he actually do on Ready Player One, though?
Probably nothing.
Yeah. That's probably what Call of Duty would have been like, but I don't know.
Are they still making Ready Player 2?
Don't ask me.
I thought that was in the works. It seems like it's been a while. What else is happening? Silksong isn't the only game to be real. Replaced is apparently still about. That game I've been putting on my fantasy league for several years apparently still exists it's a sort of pixel noir, sort of beat 'em up, sort of mystery thing. Yeah, it looks really cool though. The art has always looked great. It's supposedly coming out spring next year. It exists, and I didn't realize the studio was called Sad Cat, which which I love immediately. Hopefully that game is good. It's been in development for like 6 or 7 years at this point, like a really long time. I think we saw it in 2020 for the first time. So it's it's been a really long time. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. You want all games to be good, but I hope that one's good, so I can put it on my fantasy league. Finally, a Switch 2 Direct is rumored to be happening on September 12th.
Yeah, the one that everyone is like, it's got to be the Metroid one. Surely.
Is it the Metroid one?
Yeah.
I hope
Unless
so.
this just turns out to be like the Sakurai's part 2 of the Kirby one.
I don't think they're going to have even more airtime with that.
Yeah, do you think it's going to be like a single game Direct, or is it going to be like I think Nintendo have a history of doing like a sort of broader Direct in the September slot, but
Maybe, but do they have any other games to talk about at the moment?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be pulling out Mario, are they?
no.
Unless there is secretly going to be a big Mario Kart update.
I mean, it is hoping. That would be great. Splatoon 4. Oh, I mean, it could be Splatoon Raiders. We could hear a bit about that. We do know that's coming, but yeah, otherwise it's a mystery. I reckon it won't be a single game thing. I reckon it'll be a spread of stuff. I don't know that they could do a whole Direct on Metroid.
Well, like we said before, we kind of don't want them to, because you don't want to over-explain Metroid.
Exactly.
Or over-reveal Metroid, rather.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a mention, but...
Well, they fucking better do.
Yeah, exactly. Some sort of release date would be nice. Maybe Riders does turn up again, and we see that. Oh, you thought there was only like 5 tracks in this thing? Oh, don't worry, there's actually more. It's just that bit of menu wasn't filled in, or some amount of hope for that game would be nice. That's all I've got for news.
All right, well, I guess it's time for what you've been playing. Let's go with Zach. What have you been playing?
Well, Vintage Stories patch finally came out.
Oh, yes, of course.
So I was like, hooray, I can finally play that a bunch. And then I did. And then I thought I was going to only me be playing it by myself, but because I run it through Steam so I can have the Steam overlay, even though it's not a Steam game.
Right.
Because that then shows up on my friends list, it's like, oh no, that triggered the multiplayer to happen. So once again, we're playing a modern multiplayer game at the same time as I'm playing the single player game by myself, unmodded. So yeah, we've been getting back into that. And my goal with the single player one was I actually want to try and get to like the story stuff this time, because I've never actually done that. Because I don't have a clear idea of how the story is meant to be paced, because it feels like you're almost, from the sounds of like, well, there's a boss fight, so there is combat involved in the first chapter, what they're calling the first chapter of the story, and then chapter 2 exists as well. And supposedly there's going to be 8 chapters if they ever finish this whole thing, but only 2 chapters so far.
Wait. A boss fight?
Yeah, a boss fight of some kind.
Right. Remind me what this game exactly is. I thought it was like, for some reason I've got like, what was that game called? Town or something? we did a video of it ages ago. not Town, but
did you get hyped for it?
Yeah.
Like a top-down like management factory sort of thing. No.
Vintage Story is the one that's basically just Minecraft but better.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's supposedly a boss fight, and then because there's a boss fight, that then makes me feel like you're going to need armor and shit to be able to, survive in that boss fight. But then, because of the way the armor system works in Vintage Story, like the metal that your armor is made of is the thing that mainly matters. Like, damage is graded by it's got like a number attached to the damage level, and then that's related to the different metals of the armor, which basically means that if you have a lower damage tier armor versus a higher damage tier attack, it's almost like you're not wearing armor at all. The armor becomes incredibly worthless as soon as you've got a higher tiered attack hitting it.
Wow.
So with the fact that there's this boss fight, and I'm not sure how high up the metal tech tree I have to go before I can even go to that boss fight. And then that's just chapter 1. But then if that's just chapter 1 and the tech tree of armor only goes up to like steel or whatever, well, I say only, it's like in this medieval world, steel would be kind of the top of the tech tree. That makes sense. But if you're having to maybe get to iron armor before you can reasonably fight this boss, then that doesn't really leave much progression after that point to get through the rest of the story. So I don't know how exactly that shakes out. But also the other problem with that process is when you have to go and find the story dungeon or whatever where this boss exists, it's like, oh, be prepared to do a 1 hour trek across the world to find it. So it's like, and then if you die, then what? Do you respawn back at home, or do you set your spawn point at the dungeon and have to manage that? I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, I haven't got to that point in any time I've played Vintage Story. I've only ever played... I mean, I have got to Steel before in terms of like teching up. I don't think I actually made Steel before I got to the point where I could have made Steel. But yeah, that was my goal in the vanilla solo playthrough, is like maybe this time I can actually get to the story. Because after the other thing is like all this new content is also basically post chapter 1 of the story. Like you get the elk mount, so you can ride around quicker, which then lets you get to chapter 2's stuff quicker. And like the boat, I mean, technically you can build the boat whenever, I guess, but the boat is sort of necessary for traveling long distances when you have oceans in the way, which is what you're doing when you're going to travel these long distances to find the story dungeons. So I've never had the need to do these things, and some of them I couldn't have even done before because they're like post chapter 1. So yeah, my goal was to try and do that, but that's still quite a long-term thing. And then in the modded, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Don't know how long that will last before that peters out again. We've added a few new mods this time around, like some weird magic mods and stuff. But also we maybe started playing the multiplayer one too soon after the patch came out, so not all the mods had finished updating or whatever to the new version. So there's been a couple of weird crashes, and we had to not have a couple of mods that we would have otherwise had because they hadn't updated yet and that kind of thing. So I don't know about that. I don't know how long these 2 separate runs will last. I would kind of like to actually get to the story stuff to see what that's like.
This is so much more like Minecraft than I realized. Just, guess I hadn't actually seen. I probably have, probably forgotten about it. But
yeah, probably.
So what's the short version of how it's different from Minecraft, or better?
It's better because it's not running in Java.
Right. Okay. So it actually runs better.
Yeah, but so do the modern versions, the unmodded modern version of the game. They don't run in Java anymore.
Well, yeah, I guess the Microsoft ones, but yeah, it's just. I guess you could say that Vintage Story is sort of less bogged down by, scope creep almost in Minecraft's case. Minecraft has a lot of things where it's just like these little individual bits that don't go anywhere. And it's just like weird leftovers from previous versions and stuff.
I can see that. It's because Minecraft has kind of grown slowly and relatively organically over the years. It's like, Vintage Story can come along and be like, okay, what out of what Minecraft has done is relevant? We can strip the rest out.
Yeah.
Streamline it and make a better game out of it. Like,
yes, arguably.
Yeah.
It's much more like progression focused rather than creativity focused like Minecraft.
Right, gotcha.
Which is why everything in Vintage Story takes much longer to actually do. Like it's actually effort to like get a pickaxe.
Yeah,
right.
I can
the
see
survival game aspect is played up a bit more.
Yeah. Okay. And it does just run way better. That's always important. because I think I mean, I must have said it before when we talked about Finish Story, but like it was originally a Minecraft mod, but then they got frustrated with having to work inside Minecraft and were just like, "Fuck it, we'll make our own engine."
Oh, was it? Interesting. Huh.
I was looking the other day at the big project to make Middle Earth in Minecraft, whatever. But I'd remembered that from years ago, and it looked like Minecraft. But now it's like so full of mods that it doesn't even look like Minecraft, because it's like I don't know, like it's got resolution within the whatever the mod is, gives it resolution definitely within the blocks, or whatever, which is weird.
I mean, that's just probably one of the chisel style mods where you could because a Vintage Story has that as well, but it's built in, of course. But it's just like once you get the metal to make a chisel, then you can individually chisel the blocks and shape them down into a 16 by 16 voxel grid or whatever, so you can shape them on that scale. But yeah, Minecraft mods have done that before as well. Although there are obviously in both cases a lot of cases where it's just like you can just import a model. It doesn't have to be cube based at all. You can just import an actual just 3D model straight in.
But then it doesn't feel like Minecraft at all, though, does it? I don't know.
No. In some ways, that is kind of like the projects where they're trying to make, Hyrule or Middle Earth or whatever. It's kind of cooler if they're only doing it using, cubes.
Yeah. It's like when Lego makes a piece that's brand new just to make a model work. Right, it's like it's a little bit irritating.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely feels just like that. Do
you see Lego the new Death Star set is like the most expensive thing they've ever made?
I don't know. I mean, that's fine if morons want to buy that, and if they want to just take people's money, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. There's nothing exciting about that thing at all. I guess one thing about it is you could actually put it somewhere, unlike the previous one.
Right.
So the fact that it's like a slice of Death Star or whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense if you are gonna, but yeah, that doesn't appeal to me at all. And it's like, and also they did that thing a bit like we were saying about the hard drive in the PS5, of course people are going to notice, right? They did a thing where you get a little TIE fighter as a gift with purchase if you are within the pre-ordered period or whatever, and it slots into the model, and so the model and the shots of the model have it in there, or a lot of them do, the marketing ones. So it's like, you morons, like, why would you do that? It's like already £1,000 and you don't get the whole thing. You're just begging for people to be pissed off.
I mean, if anyone can have a whale product, Lego can.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, but I don't know. Oh, I already thought that AT-AT was stupid, but this is ridiculous. But anyway, but that's fine. Other people can. But there's so many Lego products now. They put out so many sets constantly. It's ridiculous. But as long as they make some good sets, it's all good. I still think the Zelda one's good, or whatever, for example. The one that I'm excited for that's supposed to come this year, the rumoured, is the Enterprise D is coming, apparently.
Okay.
Yes. So that might be the one. Yeah. I've already got the ludicrous, because the big one I've got is the Rivendell, right? Lord of the Rings, which is great. But yeah, Enterprise D. Oh my god, because they've never done Star Trek. They've done tons of Star Wars, but yeah. So
that is interesting. Yeah, that is
the
cool.
final frontier of IP tie-ins for Lego.
Have a shit ton of smooth white pieces.
Yeah, yeah.
Or slightly grey, more not fully white.
Yeah, we'll see what they go for.
You see, just to balance out the fact that they've done the NES. And they're doing the Game Boy. They're doing a Genesis controller.
Oh, are they? Okay.
With a Sonic diorama on the back.
Why aren't they doing a full blown one? Because they've done Sonic, right? Sets.
They've done some Sonic sets, yeah.
Although not as many as Mario. I guess.
No, they're all quite small. I think the Sonic sets. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not big scale stuff. Although I did see in Asda the other day, Tails' I was a bit disappointed because I saw they've got one of Tails' Walker from Sonic Adventure 2,
right,
in Walker formation, but it can't transform back to the plane.
But that's because it doesn't fucking work physically.
No, of course it doesn't.
Look at the animation in the game. There's no way that would actually fucking work.
No, of course it doesn't. But like, there's no way to like rebuild it into the plane. Like, even
Oh, okay,
I didn't
more
necessarily need it to like transform. As cool as that would be, I didn't need it to do that. It's just a little bit of me was a bit disappointed when I saw like, well, that's clearly the tornado, but it's not. It's in walker form for some reason. Where's the plane?
There must be a set with the plane in, right? Is there not one?
I don't know. I don't.
Maybe they haven't made it yet.
Yeah. Games.
So yes, that was Vintage Story. I also played. Well, I played a very small amount of Breath of the Wild because I was like, let's turn on the Zelda app and go back to Breath of the Wild instead of Tears of the Kingdom.
Absolutely. What do you from the start? You're not in master mode, are you?
No.
Okay.
I nearly accidentally did master mode because it defaulted to it, and then I started up the save, and I started when you get into the Shrine of Resurrection or whatever, and then I saw that there was the Triforce icon in the bottom left corner. I was like, oh shit, it's in master mode.
Oh no, wrong mode.
Cancel. Start over. But yeah, I started that up, and at least so far on the Great Plateau, the Zelda's voice logs are not nearly as cool as Raru's ones on the Great Sky Island.
Right. Yeah, that's a shame.
I mean, there's a couple of interesting little lore-ish tidbits, but like a lot of it is just this weird. Apparently, the Great Plateau was just like a sort of royal private resort. It's like
right.
They allow people to go to the Temple of Time to worship or whatever, but apparently the whole rest of the plateau is just like where the king just takes Zelda for like their holidays, essentially.
Nice.
Given that it's just at the foot of Hyrule Field, that's not very far to go for a holiday, but
no.
Guess I guess.
But the whole point of that like idea of him taking her on this, it's not really. I guess it's not really a holiday. It's always like, well, the voice logs imply that he's basically doing the exact same. Zelda's doing the exact same training as Link is doing currently. Like she's learning about the warm doublets and like cooking spicy meals and shit.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's a weird holiday, but like an adventure holiday or whatever, I suppose.
Right, because it is literally the king that teaches you about spicy meals, right?
Yes. And maybe that's just like kind of a lazy bit of writing in these new voice logs where they're just like, what can we have her say about this? Well, doesn't reuse the exact same story that's happening in the game, but from her perspective.
I don't remember those. Are they like the story beats that you're trying to find, like the equivalent of the tears, or?
Well, that's on the phone thing, obviously. That's why I'm talking about.
Oh, they're on.
This is the new edition.
Got you.
With the Zelda Notes app.
Gotcha.
The only lore part of it that I thought was interesting was basically the first one that you get as soon as you come out of the Shrine of Resurrection, because it implies that they already knew about the Shrine of Resurrection way before they knew about any of the other Zonai's, the Sheikah stuff.
Oh.
Like, they knew it was there, and it was like the royal decree forbids anyone from doing any research on it, because apparently they knew what it did. Like, they knew it was the Shrine of Resurrection, and they were like, okay, royal decree, no one is allowed to look at this, because this is, like, real fate-altering shit going on in here,
right.
Forbidden. But then, of course, when the Calamity shit turns up, they were like, okay, maybe we do need to research this. But it's weird, because it implies that they already knew it was there and everything. It wasn't hidden in any way.
I mean, the Kingdom of Hyrule doesn't make all that much sense, does it?
Well, no.
In terms of the geography of the place.
Well, I found an interesting detail, like spoilers for what I'm going to talk about, because I've been playing a bit of Tears. And it's like, if you read the character description for Yona, I think it is, the wife of the now king of Zora's domain, Sidon, right. That's it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really bad at like picking words out of the air today. It's really bad. Must be Friday.
It's Friday, yeah.
Like in her character description in the menu, like it describes her as being a Zora from another domain, and I'm like, where is that? Like Hyrule can't be the be and end all of this world.
Well, sure, but like you can see, outside the map, there's other bits of geometry.
Yeah.
You can't go there.
Sure, but as far as we know, in any Zelda game, right, it's always just Hyrule. Like,
Yeah, that is true.
I just found that interesting. Putting it out there.
There's definitely no other domains within Hyrule, right? Or maybe there was at some time, whatever, for the Zora, right? Beyond Zora's domain.
Unless there's like Sea Zora, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you were going to leave the map, then it would help to be a fish.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or a desert creature, apparently.
Yeah.
Although the desert just does sort of end in an ocean as well if you actually look off that side of the map.
Yeah.
For some reason. Anyway, so
What
yeah,
actually happens if you walk off the edge of the desert and you just get lost in a sandstorm or something?
no, I think there's just an invisible wall, right?
Right, okay.
It just
I've never
pops
tried
up a
that.
message that's like, you can't go any further this direction.
Okay, fine.
Because it does that in other parts of the map, right? There's a rocky
Yeah.
outcrop somewhere on the north coast, I think, or north edge.
Yeah.
And you get some way down this big bit of rock, and it goes, nah, you can't go any further.
Yes, they didn't do any whiteouts or anything, even though they could have, because it's not like they didn't do that for like the Lost Woods or whatever.
They could have got away with it, and then it says you got rescued or something by someone, or they could have done something. But no, it's fine.
I would have liked to have seen an actual official rendition of like Hyrule Castle Town in this generation of.
Sure.
I suppose there's no reason to do that, but that would have been quite cool. I guess we'll never get that for this version of Hyrule, because I'm guessing.
Well, unless you play Age of Calamity.
Well,
You
Right.
can sort of see it a bit
Yeah,
in
you
some of
do.
those cutscenes.
Well, you play through it in a couple of levels, right?
Not in Castletown though, right? You're still in the Hyrule Field in the first level. That's still outside.
But yeah, in the
of
first level,
Castletown.
but isn't towards the end of the game a couple levels actually in the town?
There's that one that's like when the Yeager are following you is in that town, right? I'm not entirely certain that's Castletown. That might be.
Yeah.
I mean, on the map, the mission location isn't on the town, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not.
No, no, it doesn't mean anything in that game. Yeah, I want to say towards the end of it, it's actually you're actually in there. One of the late levels.
So yeah, that was the small amount of Breath of the Wild I played. And then the other thing is No Man's Sky had a big update.
Right, the Voyagers update. Apparently, the No Man's Sky is bigger than it's ever been at the moment.
Yeah, I guess in concurrent players.
Yeah.
Or maybe not bigger than it's ever been. I think it might have still been less than launch or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Bigger since launch.
Right, okay. I thought it was New Peak, but yeah, fair enough.
So did I see this has like spaceship interiors or something?
Yes, it's basically they've just ripped off Starfield's shipbuilding
Right.
system
Oh,
and put it in No Man's Sky instead.
interesting.
So you just assemble the ship with parts. But it's basically, obviously, in No Man's Sky's context, it's basically just like building a base,
Right, yeah.
but it's also a ship. And apparently for a while there was a weird bug where sometimes you could like glitch it so that a normal ground base got attached to the ship. Like you could just fly the whole base around.
That's kind of funny.
Because it's operating on the same building
Right.
system essentially. But yes, you can now collect parts and build these ships out of parts, and they have interiors that you can wander around in. And
Right, so you could be in the middle of space and just get up from your seat now.
yes, and then jump out the back if you want. And spacewalk,
You can
which I guess is
spacewalk.
the new
Ah,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any reason to, unless you want to just be cool and like jump out of your ship and just drop from space to the planet surface manually.
You can hell dive.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's funny.
Not really any reason to, obviously, but it's just a thing you can do. No other reason to get out of your ship in space.
Well, no, except to
Not sure
repair your damn fleet.
Well, I suppose, yeah, that might make that slightly easier because you wouldn't even have to land on the frigates. You could just fly near them and then jump out.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be nice.
I guess it depends on how much the gravity sphere of the frigates attracts you. Because if you could like fly around them, it would make it much easier than walking all those walkways.
Yeah.
Because there is a kind of a when you're spacewalking just near these new ships, there is like a magnetic attraction to them. So if you go near them, you can just stand on them, like mag boots, but except it's not. Obviously, it's faked.
Yeah.
Which means sometimes if you like brush next to them, you suddenly get gravity and start falling downwards, even though you're in space still. But yeah, it's got a whole building. It's a weird system because it's still using the same base system, which means it still does all the same things that bases do, which also just kind of means that most of it is pointless. Like, there's no real reason that you'd ever want a refiner on board your ship because, or at least not a. It's a full size refiner, so it's got the free ports. But you're never going to need a free item recipe in anywhere apart from a base.
Sure.
And you can get the backpack refiner that gives you 2 item recipes. So like I'm already wearing a two item recipe refiner all the time. So why would I need one in my actual ship?
Yeah, but that thing still makes the irritating noise whenever you're running it.
That is true. The one in the ship
the backpack refiner is constantly going boing.
The one in the ship is actually completely silent, which is obviously a bug probably because it doesn't have a sound effect yet. But currently it's completely silent, so maybe that's an advantage.
It was pretty quiet on the frigate ones though, right?
Well, sure. I mean, also you're not going to be standing right next to them most of the time.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, for people that don't like nipping back to the frigate all the time, and I'm kind of in that camp, I do find that an annoying loop. Like, it's, maybe that's just nicer. Just bring it with you.
Possibly. Although it does also, once again, because this is a bug with all refiners everywhere, it still has it in the ship where sometimes it just forgets what you put in it and it just disappears.
Oh, no.
It's still all refiners everywhere have that bug.
Yeah.
Which is, it's annoying because as I discovered previously, like if you're on your freighter, you can solve that by like making the freighter warp in again, so it like reloads the interior, and then that will like make it remember what it was meant to be refining or whatever. But you can't do that if it's your personal ship. Well, there are ways you can do that, but it's not nearly as easy to like make it reload the whole environment or whatever. But then there's other things like other modules that you can put in that ship that it has the ability, you can build the storage modules inside your ship. So you could access those 10 storage containers that you have access to on your freighter and your bases or whatever. And they're all the same linked inventory again. Except the ones on your ship you can only interact with them physically. Like, you have to actually walk up to them and open them. Whereas the way I normally do it now in my game is because when you have them, if you have the freighter teleporter and you just have the freighter in the same star system as you, they appear as tabs on the freighter menu. So you can just tab through there to put stuff in and out of those containers, which is just the most convenient way to do it. Because then it's no longer a physical thing. Whereas the ones on board your ship, you do have to actually physically interact with them directly. Which is slightly awkward and therefore makes those kind of pointless. The only other thing about these ships that is sort of useful is you can put a mission board in there, which is basically the same as the mission board in the Nexus.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in the Anomaly, the Nexus in the Anomaly. So it has those, like the Quicksilver mission and those sort of designed for multiplayer missions. But now you can access them from in your ship rather than it going all the way to the Anomaly. So that's kind of nice.
Are these ships not quite big?
Yeah, they're relatively big. I mean, you can make them pretty big.
How's that? If they had to adjust the Anomaly so they can land in there, or...
Well, yeah, basically everywhere that there was landing pads now, there's like extra big landing pads. So at the front of the Anomaly, there's like 4 more big landing pads. And in space stations, there's 4 landing pads, but they're like basically laid out along the corridor that you fly down when you're landing.
Oh, okay.
and then they have teleporters to take you back to the actual parts of the station that you need to use, basically.
Huh.
But then there's a couple of places where they don't even bother with that much geometry, like when you're docking the Corvette to the freighter, it just has like virtual landing pads where you just see these like two glowing spots sort of next to the freighter that you attach to.
Oh,
and then you
right.
just have a teleporter that takes you into the freighter itself.
Right, so it doesn't actually land inside, it just hangs out. Yeah, that makes some sense. And do they fly? As in, can they, because they're bigger, do they have disadvantages in the combat side of things?
Well, maybe. I haven't really been able to tell, because the trouble is that the way the like weapons and upgrades work is kind of weird, because you attach modules in the building phase that give stat bonuses instead of using the like normal upgrade module things that you get for everything else. But you can also use those, but they're sort of mutually, I don't know if they're mutually exclusive or you can do both. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Because you know how normally when you're using an upgrade module, you can only have 3 of the same one, basically, before they overload, and then you have to get rid of one of them to only have 3, basically. So if you're upgrading your shields, you can have 3 shield modules, and then, you want 3 S-class shield modules or whatever. But then when you're building the ship, you can attach 3 shield generator type parts to the hull of the ship, and that gives you the maximum bonus to shields. But those shield generator parts each individually have stats as well, sort of like the modules do. But then if you don't have, or this is where I haven't experimented, I don't know whether if you have 3 shield generator modules attached to the ship, can you then also use the normal modules as well, and therefore be able to have like 6, essentially.
I see. Yeah.
So I haven't quite experimented with that enough. But then you've got the problem of like, you have to then upgrade I don't understand quite how this is going to work with like trading in these ships or getting rid of them or creating new ones. But like, you can still apply the storage augmentations to upgrade the grid, the inventory grid of the Corvette ship.
Right.
But then like, does that just go away if you like disassemble that ship into parts again? Like, is that data stored somewhere? I think probably it just always exists. Like, once you've created one of these ships, it's essentially taking up one of the ship slots in your garage or whatever, your hangar of ships. Because you have...
So it's one of the 6.
Yeah, I think so, because when... I've only done it in the Expedition version rather than in my main save.
One of them.
Because in the Expedition version...
Or is it 9? It's 9, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably 9.
9.
And you can store them now as well, of course.
Oh, can you? Oh.
But I've only done it in the Expedition version of this rather than in my actual save. But in the Expedition version, because this is specially set up for this, they force you to get rid of your starter ship, basically. So you have no ship apart from the Corvette the whole time through the Expedition.
Well, that's kind of nice to, to make you engage with it.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that is the point of the Expedition. But that implies that you have to... It does take up a regular slot in your fleet, essentially. Right, so you can trade in and out with a regular ship into that slot. But then, like, if you built a Corvette out of a bunch of parts and you directly traded that for a regular ship, do you get the parts back or do they just go away?
I bet the latter.
Yeah, I bet so. It's probably going to be like all the other times when you trade a ship but you forget that you left something in the cargo bay and it's like, oh, that's just gone.
Yeah. I did that with a car once. I'm not getting that copy of Icky Thump back.
Oh no.
Yahi.
Hi.
So yeah, that's the No Man's Sky update. And I got through the Expedition. I haven't quite managed to get out of the Expedition and get back to my main save because it's like it's got that. The point of the Expeditions is it's got got community progress or whatever. Where in this one it's relatively simple community progress, where you basically just sign a guest book at 5 different space stations. But the community goal on that had got to like 99% earlier, and I was like, oh come on. Give us that last. A few more people need to sign these guest books so we can get to 100%, and then I can get out of this expedition and get back to my main save. but they didn't quite. So I still haven't done that. But that'll be when I'll be more interested in the Corvette, because it's like then once I get back to my main save, it'll actually matter. It won't just be a random ship that I just chuck together with whatever they gave me in the progress of the expedition. I might actually think about the design some more. And of course, it typically has all the classic No Man's Sky problems, like the last version of the Corvette that I built in the expedition. I was like, I'm going to put these cool looking wings on it that like give it a nice shape. And it turns out like the back half of the wings clips through the geometry of the body and like blocks off doorways on the inside.
Oh, brilliant.
But that is kind of like, it is nice that it does allow you to clip stuff for each other quite liberally in the building thing, because it lets you make some better shapes and stuff. Yeah.
It's not just Minecraft for ships.
Yeah. Because if you weren't able to do that, everything like when you're first building the ship and it's just like, here's the main hull, which is just made of the corridors with the interiors that you can walk through. It's just like, here's a rectangle. Before you get any of the like, wings and hull curves and whatnot to put on top of the rectangle to hide the fact that it's a rectangle. So yes, if you want to go back into No Man's Sky and for an expedition, now is the time to do that, because it's up.
Oh, yeah. Well, the only thing I saw about this new patch was that... I've never done an expedition, to be honest. I've never done a single one in this thing. But the only thing I saw in this that was... that has been found since the Voyagers update was that someone had found a planet that had decidedly not safe for work looking critters on it. So I don't know if they've improved their the randomized creature generator, so it can do more shapes. I don't know when that went in. Probably a while ago now. Like a
spore situation.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any particularly obviously new shapes of animals recently. Or at least not parts, I suppose. Like it must have been quite a while ago that they introduced the weird like blobs and flying blobs and flying geometric shapes and stuff, because I've never seen those before. But I don't think I've seen any like animals made of parts where the parts are obviously new, which is maybe one of the actual problems. Where it's like these parts are real old at this point.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's those same 6-legged cow-like creatures that always show up.
Yeah.
That's No Man's Sky. Probably I might not even continue playing it. Oh, I guess before the expedition started, while I was waiting for it to start, I did also see the new settlement stuff from the previous major patch that didn't have an expedition attached to it. So I saw how the settlements had changed, which honestly isn't that much. Basically, they made it so that the settlements, it works more or less the same, where you're like, you have the occasional decisions or whatever to choose what to build and what people to invite in or whatever. Except now it sort of matters a bit more, and like the stats are a bit more plainly explained to you, so it's a bit more obvious what you've done, what's changed, and all the individual buildings, after you choose to build the building, you can go out to that building, and those buildings then can be upgraded individually.
Oh,
so the buildings basically have a class like ships have a class, but then you can upgrade them by spending more resources on them, and then that increases the stat bonus that they give the town or whatever.
And eventually the payout?
Well, yeah, it's kind of weird because the one settlement that I had kind of got worse from the patch because I'd been messing with that settlement for quite a long time. It was still only B class, and I never could work out in the old system how you could make it go, up class, essentially, or whether you even could, whether it was just going to be stuck at B class forever. But because I'd been interacting with it for so long, I'd essentially got the daily maintenance cost down to 0. So and then it was making a certain amount of productivity a day. So it was just making me stuff. And in the new version, it still is making me stuff. It's still net positive. But now because the production and expenditures are based on the individual buildings, And when it converted it to the new system, all the buildings in my settlement are now B class as well, because the settlement was B class before.
Right, gotcha.
So technically all those buildings are like half as good as they could be now. So now my maintenance cost is like way up again.
Right, yeah.
Rather than being 0, which shouldn't have been possible before, but that was just how the old system worked. So yeah, now I'm having to like go around and spend a bunch of extra resources leveling up all these buildings to get them up to S class or whatever. And then maybe that'll make it more worthwhile for this settlement in the end. And they also allowed you to have more than one settlement at once. You can now control 4 settlements. So I started a second one just to see if that was any different, but it doesn't look like it really is. It's the same. You have the occasional decision of what new building to build, except now it's a thing that you interact with directly as well.
It was always, as far as I could tell, that thing was always just rock up, make an A-B decision, and then maybe there's a fight outside.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And I'm done for 24 hours, pretty much.
Yes. Although, well, weirdly, quite a lot of the stuff in the settlements was on a much shorter timer than that, but still not short enough that you're going to see more than one of those decisions in a game session or whatever. It's still like, oh, maybe this building takes 2 hours to upgrade, but who's going to hang around for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Not even I can sustain that much No Man's Sky, really.
No, I used to play pretty long sessions when I was in, but
sure.
As we discussed before, my even and in the video that we've got on the site, like my ability to progress in that game seems hampered. I never feel like I'm progressing in that thing anymore. It's just so obscure, right? All the things you could be doing, all the stuff these updates potentially bring. No idea, mate.
I mean, I think that's maybe another good thing about the Voyager's expedition at the moment is like it also brings in a few other things, like the goals along the line of the expedition that adds in a few of the older stuff, like it includes fishing, it includes doing one of the derelict freighters, it includes like fully defeating the Sentinel forces.
The derelict freighter thing in particular bothers me. It's something I've just never been able to engage with.
Well, that was just because you never had the money to buy the thing to do the thing.
Exactly.
But yes, you basically get to do that for free in this expedition, at least once. So yeah, that's No Man's Sky. And then I played Rocket League.
And Rocket League. And gradually moved further and further from the desk while doing so.
Yep, for some reason.
What have you been playing, Rob?
Bit of a segue, in a way, because I finished Starlink. Space games.
Starlink?
Space games where you assemble a ship.
Yeah.
What is Starlink? I thought it was Elon Musk's weird satellite internet thing.
I mean, it is also that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, Starlink was... I think I talked about this a fair bunch earlier in the year. Starlink is where this model of an R-Wing comes from. It was Ubisoft's Toys to Life space game experiment that has so much promise, but unfortunately is held back by the fact that it's a Toys to Life game. And that's still true. It's still the thing, you know. I have access to way more stuff than I'm using because I've been playing the digital version rather than physical, right? Because why would you? I'd have to have a whole bunch of plastic hanging about and physically change things in order to... Yeah, I don't know. You could do all of that. It's a little bit pay to win in that regard because you really do need a good suite of all the weapon elements at the very least. To be able to play it. Anyway, yeah, I finished off that thing. I finished off the Star Fox content as well, which, again, just fills me with that little bit of sadness in the sense that, like, I don't think any of the content in Starlink is particularly incredible. Like, it's fine, but it's not brilliant. But what comes across, especially with the Star Fox stuff, is that whoever worked on whatever Ubisoft team worked on Starlink really got the Star Fox vibe.
Oh, cool.
how just in the way the characters talk to each other, right? They really nailed that and got that down. It's what you do isn't all that. What you're doing isn't all that interesting, but it does have at least one unique mission that it's not just go to a place, kill some things, scan some things, which is most of Starlink. The last mission was it was go to a place and kill some things, but it was like in a specifically set up like sort of boss fighty type thing. So it's like that was at least a bit more interesting than most of what's in this game. So that was nice. It just makes me think okay, if they hadn't have tied it to Toys to Life, if they hadn't have tied it to, if they got rid of all the restrictions, it's like these guys probably could make a Star Fox game, and it would probably be all right. But that will never happen.
Well, they quite close, aren't they? Nintendo and Ubisoft with the Rabbids stuff.
Sure,
I guess.
Speaking of Star Fox games, did you catch that there's like a new indie one?
No, wait, what? Well, there's been a few sort of
yes, there's been a few. But when I say
which one are you
indie Star Fox
to?
game, I'm referring to one that is like very clearly just straight ripping off Star Fox, where it's like your main character is a dog.
Oh.
And the second character is, it's not a bird now, it's a deer, but they also look slightly pissed off. And the third character is a reptile who's obviously the nerd one. And it's you've maybe kind of ripped this off slightly too directly.
I think I have come across this one on Steam in the past. It's been out for a while, isn't it?
I don't know if it's just come out of early access or something, because it's like I saw a YouTube advert basically.
Right. Yeah, I'm just trying to hunt it down. And it
has a really obviously dumb name. I forget what it's called though. It was very generic in a Star Fox kind of style.
Right.
Probably not called Star Dog.
Star Dogs. Astro Dogs. Is that what you think? There is one called Astro Dogs that is a bit Star Foxy.
No, I don't think it is.
That's the one I was thinking of. Okay, so maybe there's a different one. I'll
go look at my YouTube for a minute.
Yeah, okay. See if you can get the ad. Yeah, okay. Maybe there's a different one. That's not on my list, but Astro Dogs is on my list. That came out, or at least in early access, like several years ago, and is a bit Star Foxy in its design.
That's cool.
So yeah, I might have to check that out at some point. The other one, because that's not the only one. I think Rogue Flight might be in that category as well. But that's very much not. That's not like dogs or anime in any way. It's a lot faster paced, but it's still a rail shooter of sorts, a space rail shooter.
Right.
So that came out this time last year, near enough. So I might pick that up at some point as well. Anyway, people are trying to make Star Fox games.
Yeah.
Indie studios are giving it a go. So anyway, I finished Starlink. The ending was meh. It was kind of whatever. Because once the game had opened up into its formula of like, you need to go to a planet, you need to clear it of all the bad guys.
Yeah.
Then once you've cleared all the bad guys out of the 3 planets in the sector, you then go and take down the mothershipy type thing in that area. Go and do it in the next 2 sectors. Meanwhile, there's a couple of other like side things you can do along the way. That is the entirety of that game, pretty much. And I don't think it plays badly. It's just it needs a bit more meat on the bone.
Yeah, it's a bit thin.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say for that. They could go back to Starlink. They would just have to get rid of the Toys to Life bit. It is its crutch, and it's for better or worse. So what else have I been doing? I played quite a bit of the Sonic Crossworlds open weekend. Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I should say.
Right, yeah.
The Sega Mario Kart, that thing. That game's all right. it's. I mean, it's. I have thoughts. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Like, on the surface, the first time I played it, I was a bit overwhelmed. Like, not in the sense of like overwhelmed with emotion or anything like that. It's it's a bit full on. Like, it is chaotic as all hell, and the visuals and the screen and everything that's going on around you is very heavy. There's a lot happening. There's UI here. There's bits of stuff there.
Are we talking in between Mario Kart World and Kirby Air Riders kind of level of chaos?
No. I mean way beyond.
Does that look quite chaotic to me? I don't know, from the Sakurai presentation. So if this Sonic game is even more chaos, then
yeah, it's definitely more. Like, if you think like, Mario Kart's quite like, even though there's chaos in the race itself, the actual presentation is quite sparse, like, you know, and incredibly readable. Where there's, I mean, like the obvious comparison is like when you drift in Mario Kart, right? The boost is formed just by environmental sparks, right, under your kart, or boat, or whatever you're doing at the time. In this, there's a full-on meter that appears and starts filling up, telling you the level of boost you're getting and stuff like that. And it's like ding 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 with like sounds and things like that. And it's there's a bit of there's a modification system in the game where you can apply gadgets to your cars that change its play style a bit. Like, oh, hey, you want to gain your boost faster during a slide? Sure, there's a gadget for that. You want there to be a level 4 instead of just a level 3 boost? Yeah, there's a gadget for that. By default, there's a bit of UI turned on for that. So all of the gadgets, all the mods you've applied to your car have a spot on screen. Then they all light up and dim depending on whether they're active or not at the time, whether they're active. It's completely unnecessary. You're never looking at that thing during the race. Unfortunately, you could turn it off, but it's there. Well, I guess at a glance, sometimes it's useful to look at it to be like, have I got the right loadout equipped that I wanted at this moment in time? Oh yeah, I do. No, it's fine. So there's just a lot going on. It's only a 12-player race compared to, was it 24 in, or where is it 24? Anyway, the big number that Mario Kart
24,
has. But it's being played on more traditional sized courses, right? They're not huge. They're not as wide as Mario Kart. So, and a lot of the turns are pretty tight. And at first I was having a really hard time actually maneuvering, because it's not like the controls are bad. They're just quite different from Mario Kart, right?
Okay.
They're similar in principle, but they just feel quite differently. There's a smoothness to the going into a drift that isn't in Mario Kart, right? When you jump into the drift, right? So there's a delay, first of all, and then you're suddenly drifting in Mario Kart. Whereas here, it's like you hold the drift trigger and you just sort of become drifting. You sort of smoosh into a drift.
Maybe more like Kirby Air Riders. Yeah.
Well, no, Kirby has the kind of like you're stopping to drift, right? In that,
yeah,
like, there's a full on and then go again in Kirby.
Wow. Yeah.
A bit like Sonic Riders, actually. Kirby Air Ride is more like Sonic Riders in a weird way.
Well, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
Because that was probably where Sonic got the idea from.
Sonic Riders probably got the idea from it, yeah. So it's a bit smushy. And it's just a lot going on when you first fire up the game. And like, okay, what was all of that? It takes you a little while to kind of... it took me a little bit to sort of zone in to what was happening to an extent. It's a feast for the senses, but not always in a good way. Which leads me to my I've got some problems with this thing. Like the number one complaint I just have to get off to my chest: the music in this thing sucks. Which is a terrible, terrible sin in a Sonic game. Like,
exactly.
And they keep, in fairness, they keep doing it. Like, the Sonic music hasn't been great for a while in the more modern entries, but like here, even though it's like, okay, it's Crossworlds, right? So they're going back to. There's not like they're particularly inventing new places for Sonic to be. They're revisiting Sonic's past, as always. It's it's a kart racer.
That's fine.
But the versions of the mixers they're choosing to use are so weird. Like, it has this. Like the phrase that people used to describe it online is like these choral bits. They're calling it choral. To me, it's more like crowd chanting along with it. Like, imagine if you remember, if anyone out there remembers Arms and the sort of music style of that, imagine that, but worse, quite a lot worse. Like, just the mix is the tone of the mix is weird as well. It's very mid heavy. It's very piano heavy. Pianos are much louder than anything else. There's very little bass going on in it. It's a really weird audio mix. And I hate it. I really hate it. There's only like one or two tracks where it's got music that I think, that's okay. Yeah. And it's a shame because there's pretty high production in this thing, generally. Like, the first thing it makes you do is it makes you play some single-player races when you start the game up for the first time, to be like, look, here's what's going on, to an extent. And it presents them with an almost Smash Brothers-esque, like, by the way, here's your rival driver. Side by side, Sonic versus Zaz, that guy from Sonic Lost World. You remember him, right?
Right.
And present with flames everywhere. And they even have like a little conversation with each other as well. So I wonder if there's like a combination for everyone in the game to be like, oh, this guy's talking to this guy. Oh, now this guy's talking to this guy. Like, they've gone to some effort there. And even when the races begin, everyone does this nice, they're not just already there at the track. There's like a poof as they land in place on the start grid, and all the racers do that. They come out of these warp rings because they're leaning into the movie franchise idea that rings are now warp devices. Okay. I guess in some respects they always have been special stages, but now they're just general warpers. Yeah, but so there's production chops here most of the time.
Okay.
I have the visual presentation is a bit weird. Like, at times it looks gorgeous. Like, at times there's it's using modern techniques. There's more nice reflections on the track. Things are shiny and sharp, and texture details are generally very high. It's a pretty nice looking game at times. And then you see some of the animations that are happening on the track side. Like, most of the crowd are stencils, essentially. They're like, bitmaps. But they're not only that, they're like poorly animated bitmaps. So they're running at a very low frame rate compared to the rest of the world, which is fine. That's okay. It's a texture. I can live with that. Mario Kart 8 did that for a lot of its crowd. It's fine. It's fine. And then you play the Metal Harbor level, which... for those that don't know, it's kind of a bit like Afterburner. Like, you're on.
With the gun aircraft carriers.
Yeah, you're on a lot of a lot of aircraft carriers, and there's F-14 looking things flying overhead,
but not quite. Yeah,
but those aircraft flying overhead don't animate at 60 FPS like the rest of the game. They animate at 30 and somewhat jerkily, it seems, and it looks really weird and out of place. Like, and that's not. There's not just them. There's a lot of like trackside detail that's not animating at full 60. There's like a moment on one of the tracks where a big old fish jumps in the background and splashes down in front of you, and that's all animated at a low frame rate compared to the rest of the game, and that's
so weird.
It is odd.
Why?
Yeah, it just really detracts from the look of it. Because long story short, I'm talking a lot about the technicalities and stuff around the game and stuff like that. I had a pretty good time with this. Like, I think it plays well. I think it's fun. I think I got kind of into that. Oh, just one more race loop.
Right. Oh, cool.
Without feeling annoyed about it. I just kept going. And I ended up playing quite a lot of this over the weekend. And given that it's only a subset of the tracks as well, it was a pretty generous demo, to be honest. It gave you like a good chunk of the tracks, and it gave you I want to say like maybe you could only play like 3 of them in single player, but in the multiplayer mode, it opened up a lot more of them, and you got to see a bunch of the Crossworlds as well, which are different from the main tracks. Like the Crossworld tracks, you don't get the full 3 laps on. I should probably explain that. Yeah, the structure of the races is they're always 3-lap races, but the first race is on the track that gets picked. The second lap, you go somewhere else. You go through a warp ring, and it takes you to either another one of the main tracks for just 1 lap, or there are a bunch of like special Crossworld levels of which you can't play all 3 laps of. These are they're just designed for a little point to point or a little 1-lapper thing. So you go to those and do a little subset, which is kind of cool, and it means every race has an element of you don't know what's going to happen in that bit. And it's neat. And there's also like little randomizers that can happen during those. Like sometimes those Crossworlds will be in a frenzy state, and that means sometimes that means your drifting will charge to maximum immediately. Like you won't have to wait for it; it'll just go max boost.
Weird.
Or there'll be a bunch of extra boost gates on the track, so you're trying to get into those instead of things. So even that, it's nice to have a bit of random, like in the track, not just in the items. The items are a bit weak, but
so trying to compensate for that by having the slightly variations in the track.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
So there's a lot going for it, but there's a lot of weird stuff around the edges as well. Also, this game is hella expensive. Like it's Mario Kart price.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be the version you can pre-order on Xbox, which is the non-digital, like non-special version, is £65, which is quite high. Yeah. There are physical copies of the game for less than that. I've seen it around for about 55, which is more reasonable, but still a bit high, maybe. But the thing is, it's like Sega have already, before this thing is out, they've already announced at least 3 DLC packs for this thing. And so the digital deluxe version, if you buy that, has a season pass for season 1 of content, including quite a lot of tracks, supposedly, added to the mix, which adds another wrinkle to the mix. And it's like, well, okay, if they're adding tracks to this, what happens to the online? Like, are you going to have and have not rooms? How are you going to manage that? Because you could potentially buy these DLCs one by one if you wanted, and it's like, is it worth not buying the DLCs? So you just go online and they just might turn up. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Don't quite know how that's going to work. And also, it's just a bit cheeky to announce, but like buckets of DLC before the game's even out.
Yeah.
So yeah, mixed bag, I would say overall. Like,
do you think this will be on Game Pass or whatever?
I don't know. Sega have a tendency not to launch on Game Pass. They might they might put stuff out on it later, but I don't know that Sonic's ever really turned up on Game Pass. I think they tend to keep Sonic away. Like Yakuza has obviously been big on Game Pass. And I think Persona's been on there and stuff like that. Like sort of Sega's other stuff has turned up there, just not Sonic games. So no, I'm not expecting it to turn up there. But it's coming out on everything. It's coming out on PlayStation. It's coming out on Xbox. There's a PC version. It's fully cross-play. There's a Switch 1 version launching with the Switch 2 version coming later.
Right.
So there's
the install base and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I had a good time. But yeah, the customization is the interesting thing. Like, is there a build that actually works? In the end, I sort of was coming to the conclusion. It's like, yeah, I can change my mix. Like, I can change a lot of stuff about my car, but actually, how races tend to end up is just more about the normal Mario Kart bullshit.
It doesn't really matter how you configure things.
Oh, there's one thing I should probably talk about. They did I think it was the last day of the demo weekend. They did what they called a festival, which it's not on the level of a Splatoon Splatfest, but the online game mode was switched up. So instead of being a 12-player individual race, it became a 4-on-4-on-4 team race. And no, they didn't bring all the mechanics from Team Sonic Racing back just for this. They did add one little thing where you can tap your teammate. If you bump into your teammates, you both get a little mini boost. So there's some incentive to stay near your teammates. But it also added like a rotating set of extra rules. So, in this race, the team that collects the most rings over the course of the race will gain an extra 10 team points. So there's ways you could like come back into it even if you didn't position particularly well, and so that was kind of fun as well. It's like, and also trying to then consider how you might spec your car up to be like, okay, this is a ring race. Maybe I'll turn the mods on that give me rings when I bump into anything, which is going to happen a lot. So I'll turn that on and get a ring bonus out of all that stuff. In many ways, in some ways, I think it's deeper than Mario Kart, but whether or not there are more systems. I don't know if it has Mario Kart depth. If that makes sense.
Individual systems.
Yeah. There's an awful lot happening. The GUI for the menus and stuff is particularly busy. There's a lot there. And maybe it should have been streamlined a bit, but it's fun. It's, as I say, I don't know why. I don't understand some of the presentation decisions. I don't understand the music. But there is a fun game underneath. More fun than Team Sonic Racing.
Good to hear.
But not as good as Transformed, I don't think. And I think that's the general sentiment as well. I think people are playing this and going like, it's not quite as good as Transformed in terms of a raw kart racer, but they're really going all out with the live service thing. And making it interesting in that way. That's what else I've been doing. Other than that, I've pretty much been Zelda-ing. I've been Tears of the Kingdoming.
I brought you back in.
You brought me back in, yeah.
I also forced him to play it at the weekend.
You did, yeah. Zach helped me sleuth out where the last shrine. I'd only not done one shrine, as it turns out, and I didn't know where it was. So Zach helped me sleuth out where that was. By
even though we spent the entire evening looking in all the wrong places to then rate it. What about this one last place? Oh wait, there it is.
Where we were sort of light routing around, weren't we? And then all of a sudden to try and reveal bits of that to see if there was a dark spot where I hadn't found the shrine on the surface, right?
Yeah.
And then there was one where it's just like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of an indent there. It's got to be that one, right? It's got to be that one. Yeah, totally was that one.
I'd missed one on the surface, which was like, just behind the mountains, the snowy mountains in the top left.
Oh, right. Whatever, so like
way at
visible.
Yeah, visible. But I just never seen it through the blanket of snow or whatever, I guess. But I think you could see it from a sky island. I just never had spotted it.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so I went and did that. And then got the Temple of Time reward, which seems like you'd never use. That's the one that sort of makes you... Oh, it's spoilers, I suppose, but yeah.
What was it again?
It's like that.
It's like
the important thing.
It's like a bodysuit, right? Instead of 3 pieces, it's 1 piece.
Yeah. It's the special armor.
But then it doesn't... But then presumably that means it has worse stats than anything you'd actually want to use, but...
Well, no, it's the equivalent of wearing 3 pieces that all have the same stats.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, but it's not got... It's not got an ability, has it? It's just...
Well, I don't remember, because I did eventually... I think I upgraded it. Did I? Maybe. But you wouldn't know if it had an ability unless you'd upgraded it to tier 2, right? So even if it does...
Yeah, I guess I haven't. Yeah, I haven't even touched it. Because as usual, it seems like... it's probably my biggest bugbear with this and probably Breath as well, is like getting your gear, or getting a lot of the gear past some, like the very base levels is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Like really difficult. It feels
That's
like
what
so
I
much,
was doing.
so much more of a thing than almost the rest of the game. And I've put multiple hundreds of hours into this playthrough, apparently, and I still feel like I'm nowhere on doing gear, and it's annoying. So yeah, I haven't really done. There's not much I can really do on that front. I did eventually find the last bit of climbing armor. So yay! I know it's super fast climbing. It's the best.
Yeah, but you're not climbing as much as in Breath of the Wild, are you? I feel like, Breath of the Wild would have really benefited from the rubber suit or whatever. Oh no, the froggy
Right.
one where you can climb.
But
in the
even
rain.
that's not super effective, and I haven't like.
Because you haven't upgraded.
I haven't
talked
upgraded
about that
it.
when I was there last weekend.
Yeah.
You haven't upgraded it to the point where you become immune.
Yeah, which would be brilliant. But yeah, I've not been able to upgrade that. So
in Breath of the Wild, I mostly ran around in the climbing gear.
Yeah,
but it's definitely not in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that's what I've been doing because I've been filling out the depths and finding the X's that I never went to and stuff, like finding the X's, like getting the trousers of time or whatever. Yeah, doing that stuff and fighting more of the little mini boss, the repeat bosses that you see down there and things like that. I'm having I mean, it took me a while to get back into the swing of it, and I think this is a problem I never got over, even when I was playing it like hardcore when it came out. Like I fumble the controls a lot in this game.
I can't get the flurry rush timing in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh no, God, no! I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible. Like it happens so randomly, and I'm like, wait, what? That can okay, fine. I'll take it.
I got it more consistently in Breath of the Wild, but I can't get it. I don't know. I'm sure it's the same.
Just feels like it was more important in that game as well.
Yeah.
Like now, I'm often like just sort of standing back, letting my sages go do a bunch of work. I'll occasionally sort of like lean in, give things a few little pokes. I'm not as involved, I think, in the combat in this as I was in Breath.
In Breath, yeah.
Except for obviously big fights when it's all you. But yeah, I went and explored a thing. I've been finishing off the side quests. Did all the deciphering. Was it the tablet deciphering? Did that?
Oh yeah.
Finally did what Zach suggested. I just built a hover bike and flew over there and sorted that out. I'm still. Apparently, I've only got like 14 caves left to find, which seems like a pretty small number.
Pretty good going.
Yeah.
How about wells?
I've got lots of wells left.
Me too. I can't be bothered to do that.
I'm way off on the wells, but yeah, I've only for some reason finding caves, but there's definitely a couple where it's like because finding caves is actually hard, right? Because even if you've got the bubble frog sensor turned on. Like, it tells you where the bubble frog is, but it's like, that's not where the entrance to the bloody cave is.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, there's a few of them where I know there's one here, but can I find the cave? No, I can't. It took me ages to find the cuckoo hideout in Kakariko, right? That I must have been in the first game as well, but I just didn't forget. I just forgot about it.
I remember, yeah.
There's like a quest, isn't there, from Kakariko? It'd be like, where are the cookies going? And it's like, it took me friggin' ages to find it.
I don't think that was in Breath of the Wild. That little nook that chickens go into.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm having a pretty good time. I built
now
this.
You can finally finish it.
I'm just trying to do what I normally do, and I'm working through some of the side quests, and as I say, just try to check off the boxes that are doable. Like I built Laurelin, for instance. Like I did all of that. I got around to it. I went and sorted out the goddess statues by getting some claws off some dragons. Went and did that. A little bit of the grind, I suppose, but like not grind for armor, grind for quests. Yeah, so maybe I'm at the point where I'll just go do it. Just go do it. I'm not far from it. I'm definitely not far from it. And then we can talk about that story ending.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, the first of the spoiler things that I always wanted to talk about was that special armor, the ancient hero thing, mainly because that was what I always thought was going to happen in Age of Imprisonment. I thought that was how they were going to have their Link equivalent in Age of Imprisonment, as they were just going to use the ancient hero.
Right.
Because he is just Link he's Link wearing the armor in this game, but therefore you can just port his moveset, right?
Yeah. That would make some sense.
And maybe they still will. Maybe they'll just be like the equivalent of 2 Links in that game. They'll have the ancient Link and the future robot Link.
Do you see the ancient hero in any of the flashbacks or
No.
tears? No.
It's not. It's just a purely extra thing.
Right.
Which
is convenient, because that's entirely the thing that Age of Imprisonment is going to hang on, probably.
Well, probably not, though. If that new spoiler that we saw in the last teaser was anything to go by, maybe. they're going to come up with this other thing. I mean, presumably, if they want to, they can put the ancient hero dude in. It does kind of suck in Tears of the Kingdom that armor is not like animated, like it doesn't have any facial expressions or anything.
Right, it's like a mask, isn't it? It's a monster mask.
Like, I mean, it has the oddly shaped legs and a tail, and it's like that. Those parts work, but like there's no facial animation or anything to map onto Link's actual expressions.
I wonder if they got some of that for free because of the kinematics of the animations.
Yes, probably.
But yeah.
But yes, it's just a slightly disappointing little bit of laziness to that, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's a pure bonus thing.
It is a bonus thing.
I wonder if there's any, with the new voice memories, whether there'll be any other references to that. I mean, I guess they can't really. Well, I don't know if they can lock voice memories into like game progress very easily.
I wonder.
As far as I know, they're all always there, but I guess I'd have to. The easiest ones to check would be like the depths, right? Because if you went to the depths before you'd met Koga in the depths, to have any of his voice logs be down there would be kind of a spoiler.
Right, yeah. The Switch 2 presentation's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It definitely highlights a few things that both Mario Kart doesn't, even the new Mario Kart doesn't do. For some reason it I notice in this new version that the grass doesn't ambient occlude like you'd expect from a modern machine, right? So it does just look like blades of grass just sticking out of nothing. Like there's no light to them, right? And it's and that's true of a lot of the foliage in that game, and that's fine. It sort of it makes sense for the power of the Switch 1, but on the Switch 2, like the increased resolution just makes that more visible to me. Like I spot that more, but I am constantly surprised, like when I come out of a cutscene or something, or I come out of a conversation with something, and suddenly I'm like constantly being nudged to be like, oh yeah, this is moving at 60 frames per second, isn't it? Oh, that's really nice. Like I'm so used to the presentation of the Switch 1 version that when things do move smoothly, and they move smoothly for the vast majority of the time here, it's just like, oh, that's pretty nice. That's
yeah,
pretty nice. And the HDR, I don't know if it's a true HDR implementation, but boy, does it look bright sometimes. Like if you're catching that sort of specular off the tips of grass, for instance, and everything goes really bright, it's like, whoa, that is pretty bright coming out of my TV.
I wonder if that's, I don't know how they've achieved that if the game didn't have HDR originally or whatever. I don't know.
It'll be similar to like what Xbox has been doing with auto HDR on
there, right? Exactly.
Over there, they'll have put some set of rules in it, or they did the work. They may have just done the work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's pretty nice looking generally. I did manage to make the frame rate crumble. I did one of those. Is it the Recon team combat missions where they went into?
Right.
It was the last one of those. And they were going into a Bokoblin
Monster
fort.
Control crew type,
yeah, one of those. And it was going into a Bokoblin fort, and I set off a pretty big explosion, and it went to hell. Yeah, the frame rate really tanked then, because there's a lot of like guys running around from this crew. There's a fair amount of bokoblins drawn into the fight at that point, and a boss bokoblin, and my sages running around. There was quite a bit happening, and it didn't just like drop to a nice solid 30. It got a bit jittery and a bit inconsistent, so it was a bit painful getting through some of that. But so it can be done. But it's still kind of, it's just the pure representation of how much power the Switch 2 compared to the original is just it's right there on show. This is how you do it. This is how far we've come in 9 years. It's pretty cool.
It's super nice. I mean, this is just the way the world is. But I suppose that, we could have been playing it like this in an alternate universe where Nintendo was a third-party publisher. We could have been playing it like this on our Xboxes for years. But anyway, that's not the world we live in.
Yeah, it's nice to catch up. I had one fun Korok adventure. Not as fun as me like catapulting that one into oblivion, but that will always stand out to me. It's just the funniest thing. But I don't know. Maybe you guys remember this one, but there's I think it's near Lake. Is it near the Bridge of Hylia? In the lake underneath it, there was a Korok that's that you need to traverse across the lake to near the where the chasm of Hylia is, like where the on that island, and he wants you to take you across the water there. And nearby, all you get is some wood and some wheels. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll just drive across this water. That'll work, right? No, it didn't really work. The wheels didn't give you enough propulsion to get across it. So, but there isn't really enough wood to make a nice stable paddle boat. But I tried anyway, and it kind of works. But it's like, I just thought it was really funny, like the way this thing is like bubbling and bouncing about all over the place. It's quite, like I fell off it several times on the journey because it just threw me off it. And it's just like, this stuff's great. It's just, it's like it didn't give you enough stuff to make the traditional solution. I could have brought out a Zonai device out of my pouch or whatever and just built it the boring way, but no, I'm going to build a freaking paddle boat out of not enough wood and have it actually kind of work.
Have it actually paddle and actually sort of work. Yeah. That's what's so great about the physics in Tears of the Kingdom.
It was pretty cool.
I mean, obviously it's building on what's been Breath and Wild, but it gives you so many more tools to follow the physics, right? Yeah.
Are you finding it hard to go back to Breath, Zach? Like after Tears?
Good question.
I mean, not really. I mean, I obviously I've barely got off the Great Plateau, so I haven't really been in any major amounts of combat or anything yet. But I think maybe because I also hadn't played Tears that recently, apart from that little bit when the new version came out. But I feel like I haven't had much problem. There's the main thing, obviously, is when you go back to Breath of the Wild, you're like, I have to keep opening my inventory to drop stuff every time I open a chest.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that you notice immediately. And it's like, oh, fuck.
that quality of life thing, they could just patch that in. I don't
know why they didn't.
It's not a big difference, is it? Because all it does now is it presents you with the do you want to drop something? Like immediately, right? That's all it does. Yeah. Except it doesn't do that in conversations, which I find annoying. Right? You talk to someone that goes, "Oh, I would give you this, but your inventory is full right now, so you have to come out, go to the menu, drop something." Chests. Yeah, it only works in chests. It's like they didn't follow through with that. Yes, same with food, right? They do the same thing with food. It's like, oh, I would give you this food, but.
Well, why is your food inventory full, though?
My food inventory is always full. I don't eat that much.
Yes, but if you don't eat it, then just sell it. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Clear out that inventory. All that random bullshit that Addison gives you, just sell it for like 2 rupees. Who cares?
Some sneaky rice balls. No thanks.
Yeah.
Rice balls. I've said it before, but they'll never change this. But I just find the Breath of the Wild encounter combat music much more annoying than the Tears of the Kingdom one for some reason.
I can't remember at this point, but it's more. I remember it being less musical, right? Than it, if that makes sense, than it is in Tears.
It's just the whole ba-dum bum bum bum. That one. It's that one. Diddle diddle. Right, that's the breath one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I just remember Tears where it's like da da da, boo boo, ba da 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 da. There's a lot of boo noises, isn't there, going on?
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah. Some pretty good games there, and better than ever. And you could have more than one save file, so you can actually keep your save file and start a new game. Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Game changer.
Literally game changer.
That's worth paying 10 quid for.
10 quid for, yeah.
Not even, right? It's like £8.
Yeah.
20% off. No, it's a good update. Like it's in some ways it makes like it's still a bit galling maybe that there isn't like it makes sense to update to charge you to update from Switch 1 to Switch 2 version in this instance. Like it'd be nice if they didn't, but I can see it. I think it's a bit annoying for people coming into it who've never played it before that it's like that they have to buy that they didn't just make the Switch 2 version that price, right? It's that it is the Switch 1 price plus more. It's I don't know. I find that a little bit irritating, but that's Nintendo. That's just how they are. Don't know what I'm going to do next. If I finish Zelda, what am I going to do next?
Don't think about it yet. Just get to finishing Zelda.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Solve that problem when it comes.
Yeah, cross that when we come to it.
Because what you'll play next is, if it takes long enough, you might end up playing more Zelda next. Probably not, though. I think you'll probably manage to actually finish Zelda before Age of Imprisonment comes out.
Oh, right, yeah. No, I bet what will happen, it will be the same thing that happens to me with every game, because it's like, I finished... Did I talk about... I talked about finishing Expedition 33, didn't I, last time?
Yes,
and
you did,
yeah, because I did sort of briefly go back and do some more side stuff on it since then, but like that same thing is happening to me now, where it's just like, I finished the story, I'm out. And it's like, there's still stuff I could go back and do, and I'm sure it'll be fun to do. There's still 2 major bosses in that thing that I know I haven't seen. That are pretty common knowledge thanks to the internet and social media. I know what those are, but I've never seen them. And I know they're ridiculously hard. So there's a bit of me that's just like, maybe I do want to go see them, but I've finished the story now. So I probably
think it's kind of natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You not got another Yakuza game lined up?
I mean, always.
Always.
As I said before, next one will be Judgment.
Judgment time.
Those tend to be my December and January games.
Right, okay.
So maybe
it really gets...
Yeah, maybe that's when I'll play those. Yeah.
Cold and wet.
Well, it used to make sense, my cadence on that, right? Because the first 2 Yakuza games are set around Christmas.
Ah.
So it kind of makes sense. Probably doesn't make any sense when I get around to playing like Infinite Wealth or Pirate Yakuza. When I get to that point, it's like, it's summer, bitches.
Yeah, Pirate Hawaii doesn't quite fit with Christmas necessarily, but I mean, it's fine. It's festive, I'm sure.
Different kind of festive.
Yeah.
Different hats. Is that a podcast?
All right, I think that's a podcast.
Well, Dan's been playing things. Has Dan been playing things?
I haven't got anything new since finishing Zelda. Right, I will return. James Bond will return, apparently. Although it's from the Hitman developers, so...
Yeah. really, really do have a license to kill.
Indeed. That's a podcast. Thanks for joining us. What else do? We do videos as well on YouTube.
We do.
So if you've listened to this, you might want to check those out. Happy Salad on YouTube. What have we got coming up?
Well, the last video we did was F-Zero X. Coming up next is Wipeout 64.
Yeah.
Making it episodes 2 and 3, and maybe the anti-gravity racing series if we carry on with that.
Don't see why we wouldn't. So, yeah, check out some classic anti-gravity racing fun times on our YouTube channel. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks for another podcast, so we will catch you then.
Goodbye.